Hi, it's Chris from the Humble Holy Laity and the Thomas the Hermit channel, and I am a guy who discusses weird stuff I see on the internet as well as in our culture. And I just gotta say, I ran across something very interesting, and that is that there's a huge audience of people. I'm guessing young adults to kids. I've checked out the channels. They seem to be multi-age range material, like family friendly, but not necessarily. Um, of people making Christmas episodes and gameplay videos of the very, very, very top five, I think, games or top 10 most popular games known as Roblox and Minecraft. And I have to be asking myself, what the hell is going on with Christmas? Like, it's really weird. Like it's almost a mockery at this point. Now, I am not against these channels or what they're doing. So let's get that straight. Um, when I watched the videos, some of them were pretty good for family-friendly content. I definitely trust a lot of these channels with my kids more than the Cartoon Network, like Teen Titans Go. Like that show is just weird, and the stuff they said about Christmas and the TV is a lot more messed up. Um, because from what I watched, the jokes were relatively funny for rated G to rated PG content, and it's also pretty cool, because these games give an extra dimension to interacting with the story because you have the stream, you can comment, you can chat with the people there, you can make your own material. So I find Roblox and Minecraft to be kind of like the electronic updated version of Legos, especially Minecraft. So I really don't have a problem with those games. I do have a problem with the addiction to those games and how it's like parents they make these games like the new nanny of the kids. What I do have a problem with is the fact that the videos are super festive and exciting and creative, but people are putting more energy into it than than real life Christmas. People are more excited for it. It seems they have millions of views, and yeah, the other big Christmas topics that are popular on YouTube and other places are recipes for Christmas, and you have famous Christmas songs, but the reality of Christmas parties and the drama that goes on there, and how people really are not feeling it anymore, especially with what's going on with the lockdowns, and then comparing it to the virtual reality of these games where people are making these Christmas specials is just very interesting. And I can't help but think, well, why can't we have the same fervor and vigor in these Roblox and Minecraft videos in real life, and even in daily life? The Roblox and Minecraft community is so huge. It's insane because there's a huge kids audience, and then there's people that are adults to teenagers who play it too. Everyone's playing this game, um, and I think the first reason is you have the fact that you're not in space and time in reality, so you can do more, you can customize your house more and your character more quickly with a press of a button than actually um, having to do it in real life. And the second reason is because you're anonymous, or you can make a character, you can customize your personality, and you can just have this. It's like starting over, starting anew, right? It's you don't have to be yourself in real life. You can play someone else. And it's a very well known sociological phenomenon that's being studied by many people, and how people put on different personalities. I remember studying that in college. People put on different personalities um, when they're on the internet, which is for darn tootin' sure. And they definitely put them on in traffic on the speedway. That's also very true, because there is a filter, there is a mask, right? And now here we are in mask land with the COVID, and I don't really see that happening too much with the masks outside of people being a little bit more subdued, which is kind of sad because we can't see this facial expressions. Um, but that's the second reason. And the third reason is, well, these are big channels, so I'm guessing they're making money. Um, but there's also another thing, and Jonathan Pageau, in one of his seminars, mentioned this, that the height of culture is not the voyeuristic culture, like going to a museum or going to a movie theater, but it is interacting with each other and participatory culture, like at a festival or a party. That's what excites people actually the most. That is the height of entertainment experience and the height of interacting with humans. Participatory culture is being represented in these social media games, um, and that's why people are drawn into it so much because you can not only be invested in another world, but you can also be in that world. You see, and believe it or not, the if you haven't noticed, if anyone's clicked around, the watching gameplay YouTube videos and streams and Twitch streams are just as sometimes even more popular than people playing the actual games. Um, there are a lot of people that just watch games that they're just not going to get around to playing, and I used to do that, especially when I didn't have the moolah to afford games, and I also was just too lazy. I would watch tons of commentary videos on movies, games, music, etc. But I think it isn't just because people are lazy, but because they genuinely want to interact with people. It's a thirst that's much deeper than just interacting with an abstract entertainment media. And so that's what's going on here. Now, here's my proposal. Can you shift the creativity and excitement and joy that people are having playing these games into reality? Well, that I think is possible, and that's where spirituality comes in. But because Christmas and much of the human life has been robbed of spirituality and interacting with the divine, with the sacred connection between humans and God, and vice versa, people are insecure. They have lost their sense of self in many other things. They're scatterbrained, they're distracted, and there's a lot of woundedness, a lot of grudges. Everyone knows about the holiday party fights because everyone's been so away from each other. And there's also the snowflake political correctness problem, where people are super sensitive over things and they have a very thin skin. But also just the creativity problem. People are so wrapped up in their own virtual world that they can't redirect that energy into real life. But that's not because they just don't get it. It's because there's a disconnect with the actual body and the being in space and time and the self agency and confidence and also the spiritual joy that God is supposed to give into people that they're searching for in these games that look so kiddie, but there's so many different people watching it, and I just can't but help but wonder. It's almost like the anime and gaming community. And now I partake in those things as well, but only in moderation. I'm also too busy often. But like you have like these grown adults watching like kids shows and playing games, and it's like, on the one hand, I'm not against people relaxing, but on the other hand, I'm like, is this a cope? Is this an escapism? Because they're seeking the childlike joy in these things so much because they're so starved in the real. Definitely in the cosplay thing. Cosplay is when people dress up as their favorite fictional characters. That isn't that booming, and you see it like some people do it for kicks and they still have their own personality, but there are other people that legitimately transform into someone else, like they're a kid in Halloween, and it's very remarkable. I've gone to a con before, and it's like, wow, these people are into it, and if only that energy of individualism, creativity, and wanting to be with people and trying to have a good time was redirected a bit towards reality, I know people are in tough situations and have lots of issues, but we have to start thinking about this because it's getting dark. The mental health crisis is getting worse and worse, and Christmas is just on its way out. It's barely hanging on by life support. I suggest we have a new spiritual awakening. I suggest we Christmas harder than we ever Christmased before. We really try our best. Don't hit the eggnog too much. Maybe a little eggnog might help, but try your best to be the vibrant, charitable, selfless, creative person that you watch these Minecraft and Roblox videos for, or whatever else, whatever other social media, virtual socializing game you're into. And seeing as how everything's becoming virtual anyway, thanks to the COVID, we might as well really cherish the dwindling real life time we're having and maybe try to enhance it through what we've learned in the virtual world. So that is my little thesis and proposal for the internet. If you'd like to hear more about this proposal, although we'll be moving on to New Year's by the time this stream happens, but my stream will be on 1 p.m. Eastern this Saturday, discussing, at least for New Year's, stuff about the New Year's and the holidays in general, and how we need to bring back participatory culture in reality before we all go nuts. So that's what it is, man. Let's come up with some ideas. Hope to see you all out there, and I hope you enjoyed my idea. Or if you didn't like it, just let me know and criticize it in the comments section. Take care, guys.